Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me and Thomas for the Murderous Faeries release day party. Thank you for joining.
Mhm.
I might have messed up the time zone, so I hope no one's missing work, but actually, I took off work.
And well, you deserve it.
I know, yeah. Well, then also, I planned for it to be released on the 27th, and then I was like, ooh, live stream. But I just wanted to get it out a few days early.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I marked it for the 25th. But like it's a few days, it's fine. We're
So people
fine.
can buy it, though. They can
Oh
buy it
yeah.
right now.
They can buy it right
They
now.
can hit the link in the description or in the comments and go buy it and then come back. And then we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I should be more prepared. Obviously.
Excellent.
Oopsie.
It's a mystery in itself.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, okay.
That's right. That's right. Welcome to the Murderous Faeries release day party.
Mm-hmm.
P-A-R-T-Y,
Oh yeah.
because I want to.
Party. Thank you so much for dropping by. And it's Eloise Tinkle Tinkle. Tinkle Tinkle. That's not like very matchy with this stream. However, I have to do it. I have to do it with Eloise. And I have Liquid Death, Rest, and Peach. I brought it because it's red themed. I'm gonna try and not embarrass myself and open it. Hold on.
And I decided to have my monthly cycle for the red background.
You always do that.
Yeah. Well, I normally.
No, I said my background is kind of blue. It might be the light, and it's also like this thing right.
You do have a blue motif, though. You do.
Yeah, blue motif. Obsidian Murders for this box of mine.
Book 1.
Blue. Book 1. And then for you and your background, red.
Book 2.
Oh, 2. See, 1 and 2.
Look at that. Tag team back again.
Yeah, we might have planned that. No, we didn't. But I'm just gonna go with that. It's fine.
What are you talking about? You journeyed into my dreams last night. You're like, you better have a red background. I'm like, I always have a red background. You're like, I'm just a part of your dream. I'm not real. It's very scary.
And I said I need a blue tint so I can also show.
Look at that. Look at that blue tint.
Yes. I mean, so for the both covers, I mean, for urban fantasy, I didn't hold it correctly. Urban fantasy, and I think really it's becoming a thing for covers in general for fantasy, but let's just go specifically UF. The magical colors are either blue or purple, which you have to indicate for the first book, and then you can like do whatever you want with the other colors. But first book, blue, because I didn't really want purple. The purple works better for Midnight Murders, which is the third book, and I don't know, the vibe I get for Midnight is purple.
But purple, that's a fun color. I've seen the cover. It's a very colorful color. Purple works well. However, it almost worked out where the alternate colors was her away from the main city, because you go back and forth. You do a book in her hometown and you go away. But the purple kind of breaks that up a little bit. But I would say it looks nice.
Yes, it. And then, well, book 4 will be green because it's going to be in a national forest outside of Seattle. You know, more to come on that. But, and like, that makes sense. National forest green. You can't really, like, so Obsidian is solid black. And I was like, well, I'm not going to, how do you do a black urban fantasy cover? You don't. So you make it blue.
Yeah.
And then
blue, wait, if I may.
Yeah.
In comic books, blue is black. That's how they represent black. That's why Batman well, he's blue. Like they do blue tint now, but originally the blue tint was for the Batman to show that he was black and show
Mm.
shade of the black. There you go.
Oh,
Little
yeah.
comic book inside knowledge. So it is black. Blue is black. Blue
It's
is
a
black.
dark blue.
It's
Yeah.
a dark blue black.
Yes. Oh, hello, Patrick. He like reads all my stuff. Thank you.
Thank you,
Um,
Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick. Um,
It's me.
and yeah, he got an ARC copy. We have problems with him leaving reviews on Amazon.
Is he from another country? Like sometimes that affects it.
No, I think it's either because I'm gonna guess it's because he's sent me like books for Christmas, and that's like I think the only yeah.
Oh,
But he can leave them on Goodreads, and so we give a shout out to Patrick
I would
for.
almost say Goodreads is a better place than Amazon. And you know why?
Well, you don't really. Well, there's links on Amazon on Goodreads to buy on Amazon, but like, see, when you have a certain number of clicks, people will like, okay, I don't want to do another click, so then they don't even try. You know.
Well, I get that. However, a pushback on that from a marketing expert, okay, I have
Mhm.
20 plus years in marketing. The more they do click, the stronger the emotional bond with the brand because they are making the choice. And the more choices you make, the more you connect to a brand. That's why one of my mentors told me stop putting information on your card. Just have the website, your name, a slogan, and your image. And and then I was like, but how do they email me? And they go, if you, first of all, you automatically cancel out all the people who aren't going to email you.
Mhm.
Because if they wanted to email you, they will go to the website. But that first click is an emotional choice. Therefore, it brings them one step closer to you. And then they go to the website and so forth. So you do want movement from your audience because
Mhm.
that makes them feel a part of the journey, if
Yeah.
you look at it from a marketing standpoint. But I do also understand your point of view where it's like, well, you want them to get there with the least resistance,
Yeah.
like just get to the page.
Yeah, your review is the one. I know because I have two people saying like their review is stuck. I'm like, yeah, that's Amazon now.
Yeah.
But it's up on Goodreads. This is the silliness is like Goodreads is whatever. Just go for it. We don't care unless you like threaten the
Yeah.
author. Then they'll stop the reviews, right? But like they're really strict on Amazon. I'm like, you own Goodreads, but Amazon doesn't know what to do with Goodreads. That's like, yeah, I wouldn't know what to do with Goodreads. Hello, Dave. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. Remember that. I'm gonna try to remember myself to bring you a copy of. I don't. Dave. Snapchat me and say, or just reply down here. I don't know whatever the privacy thing. Snapchat or ask in the comments if I sent you both of them. I don't recall, Dave. I don't. My memory is bad. But I've known Dave for a long, long time. Hi, Andy. Yeah, you spanked that. Yes, do it. Okay, you should do like a funny voice for Andy.
Spanked that like button because this book launched is fire.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Thank you.
Look,
Thank
everyone's
you.
here. Look, Emma's here.
Oh,
Eloise.
oh my
Self
goodness.
Pub Andy. The
Oh my.
Bards and Books. You're amazing. Amazing.
Woo-hoo!
That's a good one.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
Thank you very
He
much.
has great voice acting.
I appreciate that. Hey, just the button you're spanking tonight, sweetie. Wink, wink. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's from Monty Python. Wink, wink.
Oh.
Nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more. Jammers with the voices. I actually posted a question on the writing group where it's like, do you read the book out loud or in your head? And if you do it out loud, do you do the voices? because I read out loud with voices just so I can get
Oh.
through the books.
What? Well, but can you do a light Dublin accent for Thomas Bloodsworth?
A light Dublin accent, like for Thomas Bloodsworth. A little
I
bit.
know.
No, is that a little too English for you? Let's see. Off me
Yeah.
gutter, off me gutter. I'll try to do. I'll try to do the slight Irish accent. I'll try to do the slight Irish accent. I almost got it.
Yeah.
I have Scottish. I got Scottish in
Yeah.
me. I
Yeah.
got the Australian. Okay, all right. I'm from Australia. So sometimes I mix them up. Especially if I got the Cockney too. I do a little bit of Cockney. So my voice, my accents get a little mixed up. But I could do it.
Yeah. Because I wonder. Oh, well, what voice do you give Drusilla?
Obviously, the deepest voice I can find.
No, I would say George the Ghost has a pretty deep voice for a ghosty voice. Yes. But Drusilla's kind of squeaky. I mean,
Look over here.
she's definitely not Gollum.
You gave Dobby a sock? You give me clothes?
That's all
Isn't that-
Dobby is basically Gollum light,
Yeah, he's gonna lie.
Picks up the phone. These are dishes. I don't do audiobooks. There's a lot of reading involved. All these auditions for audiobook versions. Where's my microphone when I need it?
Yeah.
I give all guy character girl voices just for the record. And then and all women talk like
Thank you,
this.
John.
Not dudes and boys.
Yeah, you might need someone might be like, "Can I have my money back?"
I
I need you to read, not go. I paid you $7,000.
Oh, about that. When I talk to my friends about doing voiceover stuff for me, or whenever I'm working on stuff, and they'll come in and they'll do these voices, and I'm like, no, I want you to do your voice. And they're like, oh, you don't want an English accent? I go, why would it be English? Because it's epic fantasy. I go, they're from a different planet. There are no English people here.
They're just doing their best, honey.
I know, but sometimes you have a distinct voice. So if I was like, can you read this? I would want your voice because you have that distinct voice. But if someone comes in and they have a Midwestern voice, then maybe you want them to play around with it because you can move it a little bit. But if you have a specific timbre, like you do, you have a very specific timbre to your voice. That's a benefit, Now you just got to get the emotional. You got to put the emotion in there. You got to feel it.
Yeah, get that raspy feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we had this conversation. The last writing stream about. It's not. I don't think my voice is deep. I have a raspy voice. But what is it? What did you say?
Timbre. Timbre is the texture. The texture.
Oh.
The texture of your voice is a timbre. So how I sound is my timbre.
Every day. I didn't know that word.
Yeah, see? And you wouldn't even expect how it's spelt.
Oh, is it Tambre?
Timbre. B-R-E. Yeah, Timbre. Timbre.
No, yeah. Oh, okay. I'll trust that. Oh my. Well.
I'll trust your judgment.
I'll trust you on that one. But our ADD is taking a hold of us, obviously.
It's a book.
Yeah, the book. But we were talking about first cover, first book. Lovely. Now this is the main squeeze right here. It's red. Your background is red. She is not on her period, unlike you tried to make a joke about that. She's not.
I actually
NSFW. Is that not safe? Yeah.
You could say
at 1:30 p.m. PST.
Look, I call every time I get to a period in a sentence. Not every time, but when I'm writing with friends, we'll be like, "Oh, we need to add a 28 days there," because every 28 days you have your cycle. So we'd be like, we need a 28 days, that like a period. We need a 28 day.
Yeah.
Because we were so tired of saying period. We were just like, let's change it up.
28 days. Well, you say the sentence and then you say 28 days.
Yeah, we go, yeah, you write this out and, like, Nicole sat in her chair 28 days.
Wait, why do you have to say out period or comma?
No, because like when you're discussing things with a writer and they're like, oh, I think this should be instead of exclamation point, it should be a period. Or like, should we take away the comma and put a period and then make this a broken, like 2 sentences? So then we started going, I think this needs a 28 days.
Oh my. Ooh, the sun is, oh my gosh, the halo of the sun. Woo!
Welcome to the West.
Oh my God. The publication celebration in my eyes. That was really bright. No, well, for the red, I wanted the red wispy magical whips because in the second book they're in Santa Fe, and I have visited Santa Fe 3 times, and there is just a lovely tonal color of the desert, obviously, but like when you get to seeing, like, I think especially sunsets. I can't say for sunrises. I don't wake up that early, so I can't attest to the color. But when it's sunsets, gorgeous reds and oranges and a little bit of pinks. Oh, so that's what I thought. Yeah, but also Murderous Faeries, red blood. It's very bloody. Yeah.
Bloody good time. It's a good time.
Oh yes.
Somebody wrote in the comments. Oh, look at this. Look at it. Oh my
God. Has Thomas read the last page? Yeah.
Yeah. I read
a while ago.
I had to.
Yeah.
So I put up a review. I did a while ago, right?
This is an older copy. I did a fixer-upper right before because I have problems.
What I wish my parents did before I was born.
I know.
Fixed me up before I.
Actually. Yeah, for sure.
For shizzle.
Yeah, but at least I bought the Kindle, and I did not know, but yay me that I read it on my PC. Could not do that on my Mac.
Why is that?
A lot of things I could not do on my Mac.
Speaking of Kindle, did you know every month, if you have Amazon Prime, you can get one free KDP download, one Kindle download for free.
Oh, well, I know I have Kindle credits. And
but I'm just saying, if you didn't have Kindle itself, if you had Amazon Prime account, you can get. I meant to Thomas read the last page first. Oh, from last.
Oh, that was from last.
Of course. I have anxiety. I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure I knew where it was going.
Yeah, I don't have screen sharing abilities, unlike Thomas, because I only have one screen. So I don't get to. I can't share them.
Yeah, but you can read it. You can just read it. Come on, give us some emotion too. It's only half a page of the first page because it's
that's not half a page.
It's a chapter page, isn't it? The chapter title. It's a chapter title, so it's only half a page.
Oh, you mean the first page? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you do that. Yeah, look, you do that in some of your books. It's 3/4 for some of them, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Look, everyone wants you to read it. I don't know what's going on. I wonder what sparked this.
You probably the problems that you arise.
Well, I did comment it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, just a FYI, before doing it, I do have multiple speech impediments, and I don't usually read out loud because of that. And I'm also not Thomas, so I don't do voice stuff.
That's what I say before I pillow a woman. I go, look, before we get into doing this,
yeah, and so that
I have speech impediments.
Yeah, you have low expectations already. So if I knock it out of the water,
I mean, as soon as they see my face, it's low expectations. They're just like, okay, let's get over with this.
Well, especially with that untrimmed beard, you gotta do a little bit. You gotta do a
Do
little
you
bit.
not like the untrimmed beard?
We're gonna work on that. And your brush is red? Jeez.
No, it's like
It's a red
it's
vibe.
monogamy, but
You came
that look?
in to match with the red cover. Yeah.
I'm trying to go.
Well,
Look,
I was gonna go.
I like the sharp beard because I have no chin, so I'm trying to get it. I got to grow out the sides a little bit before I like make it nice. I just want to,
Yes. Okay. Well, here we go.
Go for it.
Okay.
Did you read it yet?
No, because
Is it done?
we're having problems.
No,
Okay.
no pressure. Hurry up.
No
Take your
pressure.
time. Slow down.
It's chapter 1 in Bethesda, Maryland, for Murderous Faeries and Urban Fantasy. Midnight Detective Agency, Book 2.
Go for it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'll
It'd
do
been
sound
a few. What?
I said I'll do sound effects, so don't even pay attention to me.
Okay. It'd been a few weeks since I helped Bloodsworth take down one of the largest junk food trafficking rings in the other world. I gave 1 week's notice at the newspaper. Not, why did I say much? Nutch? That's not a typo. That's me saying nutch. Much to the chagrin of Rebecca.
Nutch to the chagrin.
That might be a funny ferret name. Anyway.
Look at that.
I'm just coming up with stuff. And paid off my lingering debts as debts. Not depths of water. Debts as I waited for a new case. A new case.
I like it.
That meant helping Drusilla acclimate to my apartment and extra trips to the caffeinated dragon down the street while waiting and waiting some more. Since I'm paid whether there's a case or not, I was delighted that we hadn't been assigned a new case yet, not just because of the automatic bi-weekly pay, but because that meant no one had been hurt. My first case was one I'd never forget, and maybe it got easier with time, but I was still bothered by the careless deaths of 2 young women over something as benign as junk food. I wouldn't mind if Bloodsworth and I weren't assigned a case for another month so I could get over the nightmares and jumpiness that often haunted me. My increased caffeine intake did not help. And while I pondered that thought, Damien handed me another latte. I shot him a smile, pulled a $20 bill from my wallet, and popped it into the tip jar. Nice. Tessa, that's the 5th time in 3 weeks you've tipped me $20. You're going to mess up your monthly spending allowance for coffee, and then what? Damien asked, crossing his arms. It's no big deal. I doubled my coffee budget. You'll have to triple it if you keep the big tips up, even though you're making bank now. I took a sip of my latte before saying, why are you discouraging my big tip-giving ability? I like seeing you around the coffee shop. If you run out of money, then you won't show up, and then I'll be stuck with the other regulars that are nice but don't want to interact with me in any meaningful way, Damien explained, or the nasty ones that I kick out of the shop. Those are such a joy. I sighed, knowing that feeling all too well. People weren't very nice around here. I get it, but I think that's a DC thing. It's not like that in Salem. Honestly, Tessa, seeing you every morning helps me get through the day sometimes. Is that honest enough to get you to budget your tips? I bit the inside of my lip, trying to hold back happy tears as I nodded. Definitely honest. Please don't cry into your coffee. Tears aren't part of the ingredient list, and I'd have to charge you for a new cup, Damien teased.
Damn!
Damn!
First of all, I was about to cry happy tears.
I know. He's just so nice. Damien's adorable.
Yeah. I also like how God himself or herself or they self is shining upon you with the sun blaring.
I know. I mean, I could get up and close the blinds, but then everyone would see my pajamas. But also, it gives a nice halo to this whole effect. Now it's going away. Okay. It was very focused when I was reading. And that's what counts.
That's all that counts. And
$20 kit for, that's why Damien's like, you need to chill your tits.
Chill your tips or your tits?
Both.
They are. That's the
Both.
best way you could look at it. Really, it's just. It's A-okay in my book.
Always a good coffee. It's always a good coffee at the Caffeinated Dragon.
That's right. That's what she said. When you were reading it, I was like, I know this book, and then I realized you're reading the book I just read to write the review.
Yeah, that's how that works, Tommy.
I was like, I know this story.
Yeah, I was going. Yes, yeah. Well,
Listen,
page 3. That was page 3, not just page 1. Page 3. I went in there.
you
I was
went-
like, oh my gosh, we got to keep going.
deep dive. That chapter was almost over.
I think, yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
has
only
like,
like 4
well,
chapters,
for
5 pages.
Kindle, yeah, for Kindle, like it has like a different font or whatever, and I don't know how to change it, whatever. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages.
6 pages.
But it's pretty big on my screen, so. Hi. Kate. Oh, Kate's the other ARC reader. Hi, Kate. We're waiting for that Amazon to work its magic.
I'm the only review that popped up.
Yes. It's silly times. But I know Kate from back in the day. I was gonna say where, but I don't know if we want to like say where, because it's like online. It is an online serial writing platform that shall not be named. How about that?
It's much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Depth.
The
Yeah.
Nutch is a good word though. It has an accent to it. So
yeah, it could be like a funny forest fairy name.
That's what I'm saying. All
Yeah,
right,
we
let's
don't
read.
speak of
Let's read some Murderous Fairy reviews here. What do we got?
Oh yeah, because
Well, this one I'm not going to read because this person was a doofus. I'm not really a fan of murder mysteries, but all right, let's see. Oh, here we go. Patrick. Hey, Patrick's in the room.
he's here.
Book 2 of Nicole Brona's or Pierman Midnight Detective Agency series. What will be a series of 6 book 2 picks up shortly after where book 1 left off. 3 weeks to be precise. Do you need to read book 1 to understand book 2? Not necessarily. A different mystery, same main cast of characters doing the sleuthing, but it would be best to read book 1 to have a good foundation for the character work done for the main cast. With the preamble done, book 2 moves away from snow-infested Bethesda. Mary, what is it? Bethesda.
Bethesda. Oh my.
Bethesda,
Maryland.
There it is. Bethesda, Maryland, Maryland, to Santa Fe, New Mexico, or Mexico, to solve a series of grisly supernatural murders. Since the mystery is at the center of it, I won't comment in the plot, but I can say that the story unfolds at a quick pace.
Oh yeah.
With clear writing. Oh yeah. With clear writing, so it makes for an effective page turner. Like book 1, the heart of the novel lies with the main characters and their banter, and that is where the novel exceeds, in my opinion, which makes it an easygoing and fun book to read. Thanks, Patrick.
Thanks, Patrick. That was on Goodreads.
That was on
not
Goodreads.
not Amazon.
Oh, we have Kate. Kate is very short. This is a short one. Look at this. All right, here she gave a 5. Oh, by Patrick also gave a 5-star review. So Kate Turner, everyone. She is also an author. Congratulations. It's very difficult to be an author, so just to have that.
Okay.
What?
I said go Kate.
Oh, go.
I think when did I join that orange site? I think we've been friends for like at least 6 years now.
Wow.
Possibly Kate. I don't know. Fact check your brain because your brain's better than mine.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's
We don't
go
legally
5, maybe 7. 5 to 7 years.
Okay, that's good. That's good. 5 to
Yes.
7 years. Well, let's
Love
see
to
what she
see.
said about the book. She gave it 5 stars. This book was terrible. Oh no. Why'd you give it 5 stars? All right. Tessa and Bloodsworth have done it again. I just love the way their friendship has grown since they met in the first book. They make an awesome team and are so much fun to read. The mystery in Murderous Faeries was also a blast. The descriptions can get a bit gory at times, but not gratuitously so. If you want an urban fantasy mystery that is creative, fast-paced, and humorful, this is a must read. All right. Thanks. Thanks,
All
Kate.
right. Oh,
Kate,
yeah.
Kate, yeah. All right. Kate.
Woohoo.
Woo, yeah. Yeah.
Woo. Uh, yeah, funny times. This whole week there's been delay reportings on Amazon KDP, so it's just frozen. So I'm like, well, at least they were delivered, and I hope that people can read it.
It was frozen? You mean let it
Yeah,
go?
like
Let it
yeah,
go.
there's no like you go into the reports section of KDP and like it's just been like that for since Monday. I'm like, okay, the technology not working for me to no, not just today, but this whole week, but also at work this week, full-time job, technology is not working either. So at least it's not just Amazon. It's just like Adobe, Word.
Could it get
Oh,
much better?
I mean, if everything fixes itself at the end of the day, it's very good. I like that. But nothing gets deleted. Please don't delete anything because of a glitch.
Are you having issues with Ingram Sparks?
Oh, I just do it on Amazon.
Oh, the am of the Zon. Well, because local bookstores and stuff usually they buy through the Ingram Sparks in batches. Batches.
Yeah, I have to look into it. I mean, I was thinking draft to digital over Ingram Spark because did I delete the account? I don't even know. I tried it like the very beginning, and Kate probably maybe remembers me like talking to her as I was crying, trying to figure out Ingram Sparks, which it was not figured out. So
yeah,
then I just,
yeah.
and I'm like, and I think a lot of people are moving over to draft to digital because Ingram Sparks is just like, what's going on?
There is a learning curve.
Yeah,
It's
right.
not user friendly. Yeah, no.
And like that was a solid week, and like help did not help. And so then I was like, oh my god, Kate. I just gotta do it. And but no, it's fine. It's on Amazon.
You're like, I don't have enough anxiety pills for this website.
Yeah, but I think, or maybe she is using draft to digital or Ingram.
Nice.
I don't recall. But I know more people moving to draft to digital because of Ingram.
Okay.
Which so I would look into draft to digital. And then some people say Lulu, but I haven't. Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible quality books.
Mm.
Terrible quality. Actually, I have one here. Let's see. It's actually on my bigger bookshelf, and I don't want people to see my PJs.
Yeah.
Also, I realize if I show it, it'll out the author, and I don't like doing that. I don't like negative energy.
No. Yeah. There was well, at random times I know well, like any print on demand, it can be a problem.
Yeah.
But at least with Amazon, it's easier to deal with as the author to get like to return them, and for the reader too. I have no idea about English. Oh, well then also there was a big thing, a big trend. It was like last year for a couple months. People on TikTok were buying and then they were returning it after they finished the book. And so then there were quite a few people in these writer groups that were saying, I owe $500. I'm like, that's a no. That's a no from me. And then there were some people on Amazon where it was like they that trend was happening, but they only posted their books on Amazon, and it was like $5 that they owed Amazon. That still sucks, but at least it's not 500.
It's crazy when they return the book because, like, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
I'm still on Ingram, but they have yet to make it more user friendly. Maybe someday one can dream. That's my villain voice, by the way.
That is an accurate representation. And I'm still stuck on Amazon. Though, yeah, if someone wants to not support Amazon, you can just email me at my business email, and I can ship you a copy somehow. It's going to take a while because it's an author copy. But yeah, if you don't want to buy directly from Amazon, I can help you out.
Do you buy like a box of the books to have physical copies?
I don't do boxes, but I do like a few at a time, because I've noticed the more you buy, the more expensive it gets.
Well,
So
yeah.
So I'm like,
it's so weird when I buy more than one.
Yes,
like I pay
it's
more.
amazing to me. No, but
I bought two and it was like double the price.
no, the shipping goes way up.
Oh, I see what you say. Okay.
Yeah. No, so I ordered 5 copies of Murderous Faeries, and whatever the shipping was, well, I was like, oh, okay, fine. But then I ordered 1 copy of Danu's Curse, and it was not the shipping cost was lower. I'm like, okay, y'all are gonna do that. That's fine. Okay. But like, if I did 50 copies of Murderous Faeries, that would never happen. Unless I'm making bank, because even the 5 copies, I was like, sir.
Yeah, but how much is the actually I could just go here. I could go here to your link.
Yeah, the paperback is $14.99 and the ebook is $4.99.
Oh, $14.99.
But if you're on Kindle Unlimited, it is free.
So the first 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, like when you say free on Kindle Unlimited, it's like they pay the $11.99 per month. But
yeah, but you get a percentage per page.
Yes, I do. Yes,
that's right. So read those pages over and over and over. I get that for my poetry book. I'm always seeing money for that. I'm like,
oh,
they don't buy the book, but they are always reading many. They're always reading. But it makes sense. Like if it's on Kindle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care. I didn't write that book for people. I wrote that. That was a gift to me, and it's out there in the world. So if you buy the books in bulk, then the physical copy, like in person, you would sell for like $20 then, just to kind of counteract the cost. Because like when I do conventions, or if I do like sits or table sits, whatever, that's what I do. And then I sell a flat $20. Boom, give me your cash, get out of here.
Yeah, but I feel like this $14.99, cool, but like $20.
Well, they get a signature. They get to take a picture with me. They get to meet me. I shake the hand.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and it's in person. It's like,
right.
Yeah.
I need to work on my signature,
Yeah,
which is non-existent. I don't know cursive, so
you don't need to know cursive. He's a moron anyway. We don't talk to cursive.
well, because I was not taught cursive to read or write it because I'm left-handed,
Yeah.
and so my teacher was like, "Oh, I don't know how to teach a left-handed student how to write cursive," so they put me in the back of the class with coloring books. And
that makes sense. Yeah, write this by coloring the pages.
Yeah, you just do something else, and then everyone else, all the 24 other students, were up in the front.
They're all right. You're back there.
I'm not involved.
Look at my blues. Well,
I'm just here.
you could also do the expectation of being like super successful one day, where you're like, I'm gonna have to sign thousands of copies like Brandon Sanderson does. So just be like, my signature is an X.
It's an NP. We could do NP.
There you go. NP. My name has 13 letters altogether. So like I just do a T, a B, and a J. And then I do like a line for like all the letters.
Oh.
I just go bloop, 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 bloop.
Very nice.
It makes it a lot easier. Trust me.
Yeah.
Woo, congratulations.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was not on point whatsoever musically, but
we can do death metal next time.
That's kind of the vibe. Well, like Bloodsworth is punk rocker, and I like to throw in like known metal heads or rock bands or whatever, but I also throw in obscure punk like Nick 13. Oh my god, I love Nick 13.
There you go.
Love Tiger Army.
Mm-hmm.
That's just showing that he is not in fact a poser. Okay.
Do you make him? That's true. You make them say like dialogue, but in the form of lyrics. Be like, I want to be sedated. I want to be sedated.
No, because I don't want to be sued.
Oh, yeah, but you don't get sued from that. You get sued. Whoa! Silence you. You get sued like if you're like, hey, I wrote this song. Here are the lyrics. Oh. But if like you can quote or repurpose certain things for artistic purposes, but you can't be like, oh, I wrote a song as a character. And you're like,
yeah.
Finished with my woman because she couldn't help me with my mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want more band t-shirts, but then also it's like I just bought 2 band t-shirts and the quality sucks.
Print on demand.
Yeah. Oh well, no, and then like my husband got a Led Zeppelin shirt, which you would think would be good.
Hey, mom, that's the way you move. Gonna shake that thing, gonna move that groove.
Yeah. He wore it like twice, and then he has a huge hole.
That's how you put your arm in the shirt.
No, there's a second hole. Yeah, it's a smaller hole.
It's a small. Listen, sometimes that's not a bad thing. Because you want your hairs to feel like they're breathing. Why? What were you thinking?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me drink.
Well.
So anyway, anyway. With you.
Bless us at 2:14. Well, PST. Well, I did also promise. Not just an excerpt read, but fun facts about Tessa.
Let me hear it.
Yeah, you get to guess, and then I give you the actual answer.
All right, go for it.
Okay, what's Tessa's favorite color, do you think?
Teal.
Black.
That's what I said.
No.
Black is every color in the world. So
Well, yeah. I know you said you like purple and red. Do you like red? Purple, red?
I like red, but purple is my favorite color.
Yeah.
Red I just have because it matches all my branding.
Right. Yeah, I like black, purple, blue, green, teal,
So
silver.
you like all the colors.
Yeah, I like all the colors. But you know what? I try to just like narrow it down, and so Tessa, she's usually in black anyway. And so is like oh, we had this conversation a while ago on the live streams where it's like sometimes writers do choose specific colors
Oh, on
to
purpose.
indicate color, but like hers and Bloodsworth, like Bloodsworth just wears darker colors because he's a punk, not like because he's depressed or anything like that.
Does he have blue jeans on with a black trench coat?
He sometimes wears a trench coat.
Yeah.
Well, mainly he's a black leather jacket.
Oh yeah, let's put it on.
Yeah, I have a black goat leather jacket that my husband got.
Okay.
Goat, not cow. Very distinct. Okay, we need to just say that right now. And number 2, what's her favorite smell? Do you think? Great, it's hailing. What is this? It's hailing.
Isn't it hot out there?
It doesn't make any sense. Okay, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can actually.
Oh,
I can hear the crickle crackle.
that's really intense. It's a live stream, people. We don't know what's gonna happen. It never says it's hailing, and then it does that.
Wait, is it intense or is it outside? Hey-o!
Hey yo. First, I had a halo when we came on, and then when I was reading an excerpt, Murderous Faeries, and now it's just like, I'm gonna hail on you as we do the fun facts.
Halo all over you.
I don't know what the Mother Goddess is trying to tell me today, but we're still going. Okay, we're still gonna go.
She's telling you the 4 other books in the series will come out.
Yes.
That's right.
Eventually.
Eventually. One with a purple, one with a green.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Number 2, favorite smell.
Her favorite smell, obviously, it's farts.
That's probably actually Drusilla. No. Drusilla, he loves chocolate bars.
Oh, I love the chocolate bar smell of the fartage.
Well, Tessa's favorite smell is coffee bean.
I would have never guessed, being she gives $20.
Then Damien has to tell her to chill her tip-tips.
Nip it in the bud.
I do also. So, well, there's, I don't know, is it an argument? I'm sure it is somewhere out there on the internet about not self-inserting at all versus it's okay to whatever. I love coffee. I mean, my favorite smell is not coffee beans, but Tessa just loves coffee as well. And so like I kind of expanded into loving the smell and the taste and even like the look. So
my thoughts on that is, listen, writing is difficult as it is, right? And most people, if not all authors, write because they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not writing for anyone but yourself. So if you want to put yourself in the book, put yourself in the book. Like, just, it's supposed to be fun. It's art. Yeah. You know, and if people connect to it and what you're doing is good and you're able to have a clear voice and like I have a confidence writing style, right? That's a lot of the feedback I get. It's confident. Like I know what I'm trying to say, but I also know there's some self-inserts in there, like, because there are things I like talking about, which is my brand. There's philosophy, there's religion, there's familiar bonds, there's, you know, perseverance, there's, you know, but like at the same time, it just comes down to bad writing or good writing. Like if you're just writing a book where like you as a human being want to beat up people, so, you know, I make a character named and he just beats up everybody, and everyone he beats up are like the bullies from high school. Like, I get it. That's not going to be a good book, right? But if it starts with emotional depth and value, and like you have something to say, don't let anyone ever tell you what you should or shouldn't write when it comes to what you care. Like, just write it. And you know what? Eventually you'll find your voice. Eventually you'll be like, I got it out of my system, so let me start. Because what do they say? You got to write several books before you write your first real book, right? So have at
Start.
it. Yeah, start.
Go.
Third question.
Now, third question would be, is Tessa naturally pessimistic, realistic, or optimistic? Ooh, this is interesting because you read 2 books.
Yeah, but I'm trying to give like silly answers, but let's see what we could do here. Optimistic, pessimistic, or what was the other one?
Realistic.
Realistic. Oh, she's not realistic. I say she's optimistic because she is not a worry freak. She's very easygoing, or at least that's the way I read her on the page.
Yeah.
She's trusting in the people around her, as per her taking the advice of her mother or her relying on her friends. She's not a Mary Sue in the sense of like she has all the answers, which means I don't think she's pessimistic because she's willing to listen. I'm trying to do deductive reasoning here.
Yeah. Well, it's a good one.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to say she's optimistic.
Yes, she is. I say she's optimistic for the most part, but when she's really stressed out, she can lean pessimistic. But that's kind of most people.
Yeah, if you get your foot blown off, you're like, now I gotta hobble. This is terrible. How am I gonna work?
Yeah. Well, number 4, is she indoorsy or outdoorsy?
Oh, all right. First of all, she's indoorsy.
Yeah, she is.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a fairy that lives with her, a ghost. Like, why would you want to leave that?
Yeah, that is true. I'm like, you got all your best friends in the place. You don't need to go outside.
Plus Bloodsworth is like, if we go out, I gotta put sun lotion on, and that costs $1.
Number 5, what sense does she rely on the most?
The incense of sage. No, when you say sense, are you saying like
the senses?
Like, well, I would say her instinctual sense. She has a good instinct about her. She can feel. She could feel her way through situations. Not that she has a magical ability or anything in that sense. Obviously, she could speak to fairies and stuff, but I think she has a good instinct as a sense. Like she can, if that makes sense. But if you're asking for like sight, smell, touch, things like that, I want to say touch, but because I don't feel like you would go with the customary, because most books are written through sight. So and so walked across the room. Well, that's sight. So the colors of the room, the red walls, that's sight. To kind of switch it up, I'm gonna say touch. However, I think you're gonna whammy me with a smell.
No, well, yeah, she's
coffee.
She's actually sight, but that's because she can. It's because she can see the other beings when they're not there. Like walking down the street, there's 3 fairies robbing a 7-Eleven, and then there's a centaur with her big ass hanging out, but like everyone else can't see that, so she relies a lot on sight. But
I got some pushback on that. I was approaching it like how she utilizes the senses to perform her skills as a detective. Seeing creatures that other people can't see isn't necessarily using the senses to do something. It's like me. I can see. So I'm not using sight to do things. Now, if I was using sight to pick apart things because I am observant, that's different. But being able to see, this is how I'm breaking it down. Like if I see like ghosts or fairies walking around the street, I'm not being observant. I can see them. But like if I enter a room and I look around it and I could tell what's off, and I could be like, I could start kind of breaking down what happened in that room. I would say sight would be the thing. But if I remember in the book, she's very hands on. She, like when she's like in a room or if like she's like doing something, like she likes to investigate, like for obvious reasons. But she's physically involved in the scenes, if that makes sense.
Except when she's touching bodies.
but again, she's touching the bodies.
Well, she lets Bloodsworth touch the bodies.
This one's bloated.
Yeah. Oh, now it exploded. Sorry.
That's my pushback. That's it.
I like that. Number 6. This is actually easy for this one, but not so much like for other main characters of mine. Did she grow up in a loving family?
All right, so this is an interesting one because she is close with her mom. However, I'm gonna say I would say she had a loving environment for the intimate family. Like she's close to her intimate family, but the larger, broad sense might be where it gets a little filtery. Are you talking about her extended family or her immediate family?
Immediate.
I would say yes. A good environment.
Yes. And I don't mention her other family because it just doesn't really matter to the plot.
That's why I asked, just in case this was a trick question. Got me good.
Yeah. Number 7. What is her favorite thing to do to relax?
I don't know if I could say that on YouTube.
Yeah, not that one. There's another one, sir.
What does she like to do to relax other than eat pizza?
Yeah.
No, I gotta.
Well, this is probably like this is a background kind of question where you could possibly pick up on it because we mention music a lot, but like.
Yeah, but also you could be self-inserting and be like, oh, she likes to read a lot. But let's say she does like music because she listens to music in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
she likes to dance to rock and metal music in her home. Also with George, because he's hanging out. So he's in the closet going like this.
Yeah.
That's definitely not rock or metal. Yeah, no. We gotta do
skibby bop, boom bop, skibby bop, boom bop.
Yeah. That's on vibe. Little headbanging. I'm not gonna do headbanging because my neck is a little sore. So
yeah, you're getting older. We get it.
Rocking it.
We get it. You're getting old.
Yeah, we're good.
You're old.
Yeah, I'm old. You're older, and I don't want to hurt you.
Well, that's
and
fair.
pay your insurance.
That's all right. When I'm laying in bed, just thinking about getting up hurts my back.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Number 8, Ocho. You're watching the Ocho.
Who's her hero?
Oh, this is a good question. I'm probably going to get this wrong because this is a very minor detail. However, I'm going to say her mom. No, her dad.
Both parents.
Yeah, I was all right. Okay. I think I got that right then.
You got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 9. Does she believe in happy endings?
No, she is not a romantic or relationship-based character.
No, in general, not romantic. HEA. No.
Oh, you mean like okay. That's what I thought. I thought you meant happy endings, like thanks for the massage.
No. No.
Then yes, she wants to see things work out and everyone the case gets solved and everyone get what's coming to them, but also the people who have been wronged getting justice.
Yes. Yeah. On point. Number 10. What's your view on lying?
Harvey, oh, she hates it.
Yeah.
She lie. You get one. You get one, and then she's done. One and done.
Yeah. Don't lie 99% of the time. Just 1%. Look at you. Look at you.
I know my stuff.
Walking it. Okay, the final one. This
There's
might
the
be
pressure.
Okay, number 11. Favorite sound.
Oh, well, obviously a fart.
No, that's Drusille. This is
Wait.
talking about Tessa.
Oh, Tessa.
Yeah.
I feel it might be a laugh or something. A character's laugh. I don't know. I'm having trouble with this one. Wait. Her favorite sound. It can't be a coffee machine making
Coffee machine. Drip.
Yeah. This one's actually explored in the first book, if I remember.
There's
right?
hints at it because where does she live?
Yeah.
In an apartment in the city.
Her favorite sound. Oh, life outside. Like the city sounds of life, but she doesn't like to go out there.
Yeah, cars on a busy street.
That's right.
What you got down? Yeah, and overall city.
Yeah. You put that you utilize that as a as an immersive sensory detail in your descriptions. You do mention. Yeah,
I have because I grew up in a city, and as I grew up, I couldn't really. It's interesting how that happens, but when I was a kid, I would fall asleep to cars on a busy street.
Self-insert.
And usually that doesn't happen, but I think if you grow up in a city, there's a certain calming to it. So I chose that because most people would say that stresses them out and they can't sleep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be contrarian.
You're looking at a Brooklyn boy, so I get it, Like when you first moved there, it's like, oh, there's a lot of noise outside. And then oh, no, there's not. Like you just don't hear it anymore, It's just, it exists, but it doesn't at the same time.
Yeah, it's background noise that might or might not drive you insane.
Yeah. Like my brain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my brain as well. Yeah, it just keeps going. It's doing something back there. Oh God, that's the worst. That's the worst.
It is.
Oh my.
Hansons. The Hansons. The Hansons.
I missed that whole thing.
Yeah, I missed the age.
Yeah.
I miss being young. I was in my 20s when that crap came out.
Oh yeah, he's old, everyone.
You can't tell by my grays.
Well, no, I have a little gray. Well, you can't see it.
You got a little gray? Have you been treating him right?
I might have to do my roots at a certain point.
Well, your hair is brown, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can. It's more prevalent in person, luckily.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think you should not dye your hair because you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how you can enjoy a nice gray silver mane. I think that's a thing, Like you should be comfortable with that.
I have it must have been some sort of damage in one particular spot. I think it's right here where it's just gray.
Interesting.
And so I have been told that if there's a certain spot, all over your body of damage to the pores or the hair follicles, then that is a reason why one spot would be gray.
Oh, like one isolated spot.
Yeah, it's just possible. One thing right here.
Could be vitiligo.
Yeah. Well, because my husband has one gray spot on his arm because he had an injury, but it healed over. But now he just has 15 or whatever gray hairs.
Just hanging out there
just hanging. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. And it's kind of like my head right now.
I like
So
it.
it's damaged. I don't know from what. Life.
Could be life. It could be life. I was very dark. Like I had brown, like thick dark brown with some reds. And then after the cancer, because of the surgery and everything, my body just went "Meh," and like I went gray. And the doctor says, "Well, it's because your body went through maybe it contributes to what you're saying, which is it went through trauma." And the body was like, "We're gonna have to take a break with this looking young thing." So I had to make a new deal with the devil, but it didn't work.
Yeah, John Green's brother. I should know because I'm subscribed to Sci channel or SciShow, whatever. But John Green, the young adult writer's younger brother, had cancer, and he did chemo, and then he posted a video yesterday of his hair, and now it's curly.
Oh, that's fine. It happens.
Yeah. And so then I was reading the comments, and there were some people that were like, "Oh yeah, my mom went through chemo and she had blue eyes, but after chemo and the cancer went away, now she has green eyes." Like, what?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I once had someone tell me my eyes are not hazel, even though they are, and they said their eyes are hazel, but they were blue. And this is what they said to me. I go, "But your eyes are blue." And he's like, "I know what hazel eyes are. My whole family has them." And I go, "Your whole family has blue eyes." Yeah.
It means
It's hazel.
colorblind.
So I was like, "Maybe you're all," but he was like, "No." And then I had to look it up for him. Like, "Look, it's brown with green and gold flakes. Your eyes are blue." I go, "It might not, it might, and he's like, "No, they're not." I'm like,
The weird conversations that happen sometimes.
I once gray mixed hair equals character.
Very
I
nice.
agree.
You have a lot of character, Thomas.
I got into an argument with that guy about he's the kind of guy that like finds a new thing and that's it. Now it's pure truth. And he was like reading this article for the first time. And he like pushed outside the desk like this, like he had something to say. He was like, and he turns it. He goes, "Tom, did you know that Jupiter is so big that technically it doesn't orbit around the sun. It orbits around the barycenter just outside the sun." And I go, "Yes, that makes sense. But it also orbits around the sun." He goes, "No, it doesn't." He instantly took the stance that the article means that all other. And I go, "Is Jupiter the last planet or in the middle of the planets?" And he's like, "What's that have to do with anything?" I go, "Because it's in the orbit of the sun and it goes around the sun. Therefore, both statements can be true. It orbits the sun while also having a barycenter to this." And he couldn't believe, like, he couldn't understand the conversation, but this is also a guy who didn't believe there's an atmosphere on the moon.
Oh.
I was like, he's like, "There's no oxygen." I was like, "That's not what makes an atmosphere."
Special people.
Oh, tell us about the fairy eyes.
Yeah, I do indeed like to give them different colors of eyes.
Like clear.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like my go-tos are blue, green, and gray.
Why? Not judgment. I'm asking an honest question.
Because
why?
Why you disgust me with those three colors?
How dare you choose the colors?
It's very Thomas.
Those are my least favorite colors. 1 star.
No, I did have someone say, "Oh, what?" Well, this is for my first book. It's not urban fantasy. It's a long time ago.
Was it 3 months?
No, like 2021.
Well, because you write books so quickly. I was just saying.
I don't think I write books. Okay, just the urban fantasy ones are great. But so Lily has red hair and green eyes, and there's this one person that was like, "You're just trying to jump on the bandwagon of red hair, green-eyed main characters.
Yeah.
That's just revolting. You're a sellout. I'm like, the escalation.
That escalated quickly.
And then I was like, she's actually like a lot of her kind of characteristics are based on my grandmother who has red hair and green eyes.
Yeah.
She's like, and no reply. I was like, yeah, don't reply, because what happened there? That's on the online serial writing platform.
Yeah.
You do not name. It's been a while. I'm like, girl.
You could have just responded and be like, "No, she has blonde hair," and then be like, "It says red." And you go, "I'm sorry, I'm colorblind."
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't see color.
Yeah, I can't actually see color. I don't know what's the difference between blonde and red hair.
I mean, technically, we don't see color. We see a reflection of the rays of light to our eyes, pushed off the cones within our color cones, and it creates the color. In fact, there's a theory that you see how this is red, right? So growing up, people would point to that and they go, "This is red." Some people don't actually see the color that the other people see. It's not a form of colorblind, but because they associate this color with red, they're like, "Oh, it's red." But in reality, they're not seeing the same red I'm seeing, and vice versa. In fact, this might actually be green. I just don't know. It's just we all agreed to the pointing and the color correct. What, kitty?
Oh no, I've heard of everyone sees colors slightly different.
Correct. Yeah, that's what that is, right? But they don't know. They're just like this. Yes, this is red, but like in reality, it might be gray or blue or, you know. Anyway, sorry, I'm a nerd.
Yes, you are. But we welcome that. But fairy eyes, yeah, I just like colorful eyes. I mean, yeah.
Do they have function? Like, do they like their fairy eyes with a color? Do the colors equal a different function, or are they just like they can see? They just have.
There's green or blue or green.
Green or blue.
I'm not too in depth in that.
You're like world building. I don't got time for that. I gotta write 18 books in a month.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh yeah.
I like it.
Though I do kind of match up like eye color and hair color and looks in my mind by like personality.
Okay, that makes sense. Like the
Kind of.
Gryffindors.
Oh dear, no.
With the Slytherins. Oh. Got another question in the comments. Do fairies have access to more or less or different spectra than humans? Oh, so do they see like ultraviolet? Do they see certain wavelengths? Do they fart?
No, they just have. They are not physical beings unless they have to show themselves. So that's why it's a magical ability for Tessa to see them, because they are like what they say glamored, and so they're physical in their own dimension, which is the other world, and then they come over to this world and they have to use magic to kind of function.
Yeah, but can they see more than just like, are they able to see beyond the spectrum or the spectra of what we can see as humans?
Probably. This is my world is basically based in like neo-pagan Wiccan belief systems. So you can there are probably Wiccans that say that they can, and then there's also other ones that are like, no, that's not possible. So from what I grew up with, no.
Do most fairies wing it?
Sometimes they can't fly. Like, well, Juicil can kind of flap a little bit, but he can't. His wings are not big enough to
to get them off the ground.
Yeah, he goes like. Boop, boop.
But you also classify your fairies. You classify like gnomes and stuff like that as fairies, and different variations of creatures as the fairy folk.
Yeah, fae.
The
Yeah,
fae.
I do like Norse, Germanic, Celtic would be fae.
Yeah, the fae.
Yes, there's many renditions, and then so there's like house fairy and brownie, which are the same.
Is there a
thing.
field fairy?
Of what fairy?
Well, because there's a house fairy. Is there a field fairy?
Well, those are just regular fairy. They're
Oh,
forest.
they're free to do whatever they want. Those.
Yeah. Well, house fairies are the ones that get.
Yeah, they get the extra treatment. They get the good treatment.
Well, they want to be with humans and like take care of them, but the humans also have to take care of them.
Well, that makes sense.
You know.
Cat wants love. Oh, maybe explore the spectra idea as an aside in the future book.
Yeah, I don't know how I would do research for that. Because whatever he said, I was like, I have no idea what Thomas technically said. Tunnel, the bad.
Do you like making things up though, or do you like to you base it on like the research of like what is known? Because I do understand, like I have kings and queens, but I also have other variations of the title, that are like otherworldly. But the king and queen, like if I say king, you already have whatever predisposed information. So are you looking for stuff that is very similar to the world, so you don't have to create anything? This is not an insult, but like new, because you want people to have a familiar idea or understanding, so you don't have to go into explanation like what is a fairy, and like you don't want to have to explain like, oh, fairies are these, and they like you're just like, it's a fairy, it's a gnome. Oh, I know what a gnome is. Like, do you purposefully do that so people don't have to like really you don't dig into too much world building per se?
Well, I grew up neo-pagan, and I believed in ghosts and house fairies and don't piss off the fairies and
don't piss
there's
them
another dimension and all that stuff until I grew out of that. But that's what I know, so why would I make up stuff when I grew up with that already? So then I don't need to. I would probably confuse myself because all that stuff is already in my head. And if you talk to a neo-pagan or a Wiccan and you talk about any of the urban fantasy books, most likely they would know what's going on because that's what they believe. So it's like it's a real life thing, but it's not.
Yeah. I get it. Not everyone has to create things from nothing. There's nothing wrong with the.
Yeah, I don't want to reinvent the neo-pagan wheel. It's already there.
That needs to be in your book somewhere. The proverbial neo-pagan wheel, if you will.
Yeah, I just and I know. Well, also the thing of like neo-paganism and Wicca kind of depends on where you are and what they do. So I can say like the Wiccan coven that my grandmother was part of did all this stuff, but then it would probably not be the same for another coven in a different state. And then like
not
how
everyone drinks blood. I get it.
Yeah, how they set that stuff up would be a little different. But overall, I can tell you about covens and what they probably believe. And get
Coven's coven, the covenant covenant. That's an alliteration.
You should write that down, Thomas.
Covenants. Well, like druids. Like I grew up. I know a lot about druids per se, but in my world, I call them Dreyu, just because I wanted to kind of like manipulate the concept a little bit, and obviously there's divine magic in my world, so because of the gods. But I like to take little things and change it. Like my friend, he read the prologue, and his only comment was like, "Oh, you have a dragon." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Everybody does dragons." Then I explained the story of the dragon and like the dragons, and he's like, "Keep the dragon, keep that dragon," because he's like, you didn't make a dragon, you call it a dragon, but you don't have dragon." And then he saw the trolls, and he's like, you don't have trolls. You have your. So I like to kind of like, I personally like to manipulate the idea of something and then subvert the expectations, because it's nice to be like, it's a dragon, and people are like thinking about what a dragon is, and then their expectations are subverted, and then they're like, oh, that's interesting, well, that's different, oh, that's new. So I like doing that, but I also like what you're doing, because if you read a book, you don't want to really put a lot of like, oh, now I got to learn now I got to learn everything about this, this thing.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, it was like living in an urban fantasy book.
Yeah.
So why change everything? So it was an adventure. It was a fun adventure. Imagination ran wild. But then there was also the point of making it your own. And so I always thought it would be funny to have a vampire that put sunscreen on.
That is funny.
With magical sunscreen. And so, like, if he doesn't have the sunscreen on, Bloodsworth would go up in flames and he would die, right?
How long would he have?
It would kind of go through like a whole first degree, second degree, third degree burns, and then you die from the burns type of thing. Though then, like, it was either in the first or second book where he was like, yeah, they would see that I died from like being burned alive, but usually the smoke would get to your lungs first, and that's usually how people die first.
The vampire.
But then but there's no smoke. So but at least for like, you could as a human kind of work your way into like, okay, well, in this instance the smoke didn't kill him first, but we can clearly see third degree burns, so we're going to chalk it up to been set on fire or something. So it can still be talked through in a logical or semi-logical way.
Mm-hmm.
Also because he was once human, so there's still human parts going on. And I also I'm just tired of the whole vampire, like, I just can't hold myself back. I must eat your whole
what?
being.
you need to speed that sentence up.
Everything, because I can't help myself. I'm like, yes, you can.
No, I get it. I
can't do it. Like Twilight.
Twilight's not a real thing.
I can't do it.
He gives her a piggyback ride up a mountain, and he sparkles. Those are two things. Yeah. We're not even into the issues, the issues of the story.
Yeah.
But he's a vampire that gives her a piggyback ride, and he sparkles. What's he, Robin from How I Met Your Mother? Robin Sparkles.
So you can do your own stuff within the lore and mythology, and so I know there have been people that are like, oh, like the magical sunscreen, like, will that really work? I'm like, it's working fine. Yeah, it's like, it's working fine. I mean, if he doesn't have the sunscreen, then yes, he will die from the sun, but he's got the magical sunscreen. It's like, I didn't erase the whole setting,
but it's your story. You could be like, as long as he holds this apple, he will not burn. Like, you could do that because it's all made up.
Yeah, it is made up.
Fake. As long as you clarify in the lore, that's like, well, green apples keep you from dying with the sun as long as I hold it. But if I drop it, I burst. Like, no one can argue that because it's fake.
Yeah, well, people can get really testy with that vampire lore, and I'm like, they're not real. Okay.
So stupid. I don't understand why your fairies are tall, because they are, but they're not in my head. It's not your story. It's fake. I made it up.
Yeah, this is the lore is made up as well. I mean, it's like 3,000 years old, but it's still made up.
It's all made up. Even let's say it's a 1,000% real, right?
Mhm.
At this point, it's made up. You know, like because like let's say the Bible was written. It wasn't written by John, even though like the book of John and it, but because it was
Mhm.
written many years later. But let's say John wrote it for real at the time of Jesus. It had to be translated. and
Yeah.
translation is a loose translation. It's not a like if I say to you gracias, right? That doesn't translate to thank you. It loosely translates to thank you because the real word is grace. And de nada means of nothing, not you're welcome, right? So
Yeah.
all like Aramaic and Hebrew, there are certain words that didn't exist back then, and it's translated, and so it loses its. So it's made up because they had to come up with like, what does this word mean? What is the simile in this new language that's called English, which was really just like like old English sounds
It's weird.
musical. Yeah,
Mhm.
you know.
Weirdly musical. That's the same for Old Irish. You're
Oh,
when because I'm reading still March 27th, reading Irish historical fiction. And in one of the books, the writer gives a glossary. And for some of the names, it says like, current spelling, whatever, now. And then some other, like a earlier version of Irish.
yeah,
And then an old Irish. And you're like, what happened?
yeah.
I don't see the connection at all. Wow. But it
Melissa,
sounds pretty.
and then it was used to.
Yeah, you're like,
There's not even an M.
what happened? I don't know.
You know, whatever. Well, Tom is like my name is actually Tommaso, right? But like I spell it Thomas because of the English spelling of it. Uh, but in Italy or Sicily, it's Tommaso because
Yeah,
Thomas is just Thomas. You know,
yeah.
what did I
Well,
just look into? A big wall, I guess.
yeah, the crazy wall of languages that
Yep.
change,
Yeah.
specifically Irish, because it's
If
a
you
Irish madness, and Bloodsworth is Irish.
the blood worth, Eloise, if you missed the beginning, we were just saying like how people complain about like details, and I was like, it's all made up. Like if Bloodsworth didn't have sunscreen and he held an apple, like that's legit in your book. Like it was like, as long as I hold this apple, I can't die from the sun. Like it's all made up. Like anything is okay. You know, and when people judge those little details, like, yeah, but in Bram Stoker's, well, this is not Bram. That was made up as well.
Yes.
You know, so it's like whatever. People are weird with that stuff. Anyway, so your book comes out.
The book is out. Yes. Book 1 and 2 are out,
It's out of the
and
closet. Hey,
yay, it's exciting. And the third book. Do
when does
you
that come
remember my
out?
word
Next week?
count? I don't know. I
Is that
think
the one you have to change the cover?
no, that's the fourth. No, I just have to change her face on the fourth book.
Face off.
We're just switching faces. Oopsie, that happened.
As long as you're consistent with whatever rules you're making up for your fantasy, then yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, 100%. As long as that apple always protects them in
Yeah.
the sun. But like when people like are like hissy fit over there, my vampires can't go in the sun.
No, that's like
Okay,
people freaked out with the Vampire Diaries because the
because they made it.
vampire can wear like a magical ring, and so that
Yeah,
then they can walk out. But once the ring is off, then it's like magic. And
yeah.
then people are like, oh well, what's like the spell or whatever and the details. I'm like,
Who cares?
there's no vampires and there's no magic that does. So then it's like, well, you could, if you want to do like really immersive stuff, then you could have a witch in a scene, say out a spell, and then put the spell in the ring, and there you go. But then like that.
But which witch switched the witch in the coveting the covenant of the covenant?
Did that work? I don't know if
it does. Which witch switched which covenants?
The last
to coven something, a covenant, right?
Oh
there's a lot to play on the because you can have a covenant of people, and then there's a to covenant something, and then the covenant of the covenant is the vow.
Yes.
And then which witch switched the witch is like, oh, me, Mr. Alliteration, will you?
Yeah. Well, that was a lot of words, and I do need to.
I'm so sorry.
I'm still working on that.
You're gonna call me at like 3 a.m. I think I got it.
Yeah. Distracted.
I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
What do you mean you can walk out in the sun?
What do you mean there's fairies?
I have what's known as light vampires. They're called, yes, English is fun. They're called Lyris. And they can walk, but because my world has 2 suns, I have a lot of sun elements, a lot of sun, lore. So but I also have traditional vampires in my world. But the Lyris, they get their power from the sun. They absorb the sunlight. It makes right. But depending on how old they are, the better they can control that. What's it called? The osmosis. Right. Where the sun turns into energy. But someone was like, vampires. No, the suns kill the vampires. I was like, but not in my world. It's made up. It's fake.
Like there are actual like people in the real world, that think that there's psychic vampires.
I know some.
Yeah, you see some very interesting people when you are neo-pagan and or Wiccan, because I knew about that whole thing of like psychic vampires where like they're human. Some of them think they're humans, and okay, I'm not, whatever.
You leave the furries alone.
But like the psychic vampires that like will eat your aura.
Oh yeah, the frog self. I got it.
And so it's like, well, then there's like, you could use that in a book, but then you could like make them like, they don't need to drink blood because such and such. They just drink like people's auras, and then like people will get sick, fall asleep maybe, and
they have that. They have that on the TV show version of where in the shadows, where the vampires hang out all together. But like there's a energy vampire, and he just stands next to people and he talks to them, and they just
yeah.
They just faint and stuff.
That's exactly it. See, the psychic vampires have gotten around because that's mainstream. When I was younger, we were like, okay.
Yeah, you're so strong. Look at you killing me.
Yeah, it's good for you, sweet. We're just gonna go back and to the Renaissance Fair and get some turkey legs. What are you going to do? Are you gonna just sit here and try and drink up people's energy? Okay.
There is no Renaissance Fair. It's a real transportive place. We go back in time, and I wear my costume, and this is real. You need therapy.
There are some ones that take that a little too seriously, but isn't that many humans take certain things a little too seriously? And like, are you okay?
I mean, everything is, it's what's crazy to one person isn't to another. Sounds like you're describing someone I know. But like even if this is the interesting part, we on just sucking the life out of me as they talk. I sound like my ex. No, so I'm just kidding. I'm that's a joke. I've never dated anyone, and so
Yeah, I see that.
I just follow them around. No, but like the concept of science, right? We as a collective, the majority collective, agree on the terminology that is made up based on the results of things we made up to figure out things to make sense of stuff. But because we agree on it, it is our reality. It is our facts, right? Our logic. The sun is the center of our universe where we shoot through the right, all that. But in reality, if we went back 1,000 years, people would think we were crazy.
And
Right?
burn us at the stake.
And
Yeah.
probably burn us, right? So, like, all information, all perspectives in one way or another are crazy to somebody else. It's just like, as long as you're not hurting people, who cares if you really believe the earth is flat? Who cares if you believe lizard people are in a hollow earth dancing with gnomes as they pop out of the Antarctic, which no one except for the scientists that live there in communities can go to? Like, it's okay. Like, have fun. Have fun with whatever you believe. If you believe in magic, absorb the hell out of it. Embrace your magic. If you believe in religion, like, just don't hurt people and don't bother people, right? Like, that's the reality, because everything is crazy. Some people think like if I tell you how gravity works, I've literally had people go, gravity is not a real thing. It was made by a man and during a patriarchy to control people. And you're like, first of all, it wasn't made by anyone. It was discovered, or at least, by a person who never ever had intercourse. Okay, he was born on the Christmas and he died, Sir Isaac Newton, a virgin.
Oh, I want to say Einstein.
Oh, Einstein? No, Einstein.
Oopsie. What? Wrong.
But it's all made up and the points don't matter. Yes.
That's what I was thinking, and then I lost it, and then I remembered it again, but then I didn't say it, so Eloise can read minds, and
she must be a psychic vampire.
Yeah, she's a psychic of some sort. We don't know yet, but we will figure that out.
But the problem is, people who believe in lizard people then make a leap to believing a pedo ring is run out of the basement of a pizza shop and kill people. So there's a line somewhere. I agree. There is definitely a line somewhere.
Yeah, gotta mention that line, Thomas.
There is a line, and people who believe there's a pizza pedo shop how dare they blasphemize my pizzerias?
Oh yes, as an Italian.
Yeah. Well, again, pizza is not technically Italian. It's New York Italian, unless you're talking about the casseroles up in Chicago, which are deep dish pizza. But but pizza was made in the New York. But pizza in Sicily or Italy is not the same. It's like flatter, harder bread, and like the way they make it is a little different. Fun things, Oh, we got some. But I'd agree for the most part. M-dash. Gravity was a thing before. Oh, that's just a regular dash. Gravity was a thing before it was discovered. So who's to say what other forces are out there that we can't see, understand yet? Correct. Because that's right. Plants do talk to each other through a system of roots.
And fungi, whatever.
But plants also see us. They just released a report that plants, they don't see how we see, but they can see us standing near them and being near them, and they're affected by the way we treat them as well. But again, we also only see in 3 dimensions. So by the logic of the scientific studies of 2-dimension to 3-dimension, 2-dimensional creatures can't see 3-dimensional. And vice versa, you can see down dimensions, but you can't see up dimensions. So if we're thinking 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensions, there's a chance. And again, this is just all theory, but it's all crazy because until we can experience
mind-blowing. It's been mind-blowing.
Look, the stuff that's in this brain, I can't get it out because I have photographic memory. It's painful. I'm having a heart attack right now.
Because I am a psychic vampire.
You're taking it all from me.
Oh yeah.
Stop.
The vibes.
The
That's actually
vibes.
a good way to end the stream. We have celebrated the Murderous Faeries release. Oh wait, yeah. So don't forget.
No, remember.
Well, don't forget that you got to read the first book, Obsidian Murders, okay? But then you go right into Murderous Fairies, and that information to buy either or both is going to be in the comment section and in the description box below us. And thank you for everyone who joined. It was a fantastic hour and 40 minutes. And thank you for Thomas for being available. Doing a little matchy with the book cover. I got blue, you got red. It's a great time.
Yeah. So you got blue and I got red. So somebody read me? I don't understand what's going on. Ooh, the woo, woo, woo. Girly is as crazy as everyone claims. Says crazily as a woo girly. Yes.
Yeah. And we're still waiting for Thomas to do something.
What do you need to do? Tinkle,
you gotta publish.
Oh, publish it. Well, I am published. I got my book out. You much.
Yeah, no, the epic fantasy.
Oh my net. Well, the next book I am going to publish is my 5 book series on self-help. It's the triangle that I used to teach and everything, and that's going to be my goodbye to that old life. And then the fantasy book will come out after that. So it should be exciting. Nice. Yeah, the 5 books are done already. They're just being edited. Yeah. But they are not there, and they're quick reads too. The first book is 90,000 words, but all the other books are like shorter, like 60,000, because they're self-help books. But the first book is a foundational book. It teaches you the foundation of what you'll be reading throughout the 5. But it's what I used to teach when I spoke at colleges, or if I had conferences, or my clients, things that studios would hire me to help their people. So it's just how to be successful in the entertainment industry, that's including being an author or what have you, anything that's a performative or creative outlet. And but it's my goodbye to that world. I am, old. So I after my parents died, I made a promise to myself that I'm going to just focus on being the author I always wanted to be. And there you go.
Love to see it. Thank you, everyone. And I'll just highlight this one more time. Sending you, everyone, much prosperity and joy on this special occasion. And I hope you pick up Murderous Faeries. And thank you again. Bye.